Even an occasional moose may be found along the fire hole. Giant columns of steam rise as silent sentinels of the lower geyser basin. Fountain paint pots, as all the park's hydrogeothermal features are unaffected by the extreme cold of Yellowstone's winters. They just go right on gurgling, boiling, and spitting. When boiling water meets air that is well below zero, the result is nothing short of spectacular, as seen here with Clepsydra Geyser. On a foggy morning, White Dome Geyser erupts in a cloud of steam. Its massive geyserite cone is over 20 feet high. Falling mist creates an enormous dome of ice. At Midway Geyser Basin, Excelsior Geyser's runoff supplies warmth to the Firehole River. Cliff Geyser, in the Black Sand Basin, plays by the side of Iron Creek. The Upper Geyser Basin has the greatest concentration of geysers in Yellowstone or anywhere in the world. Understandably, it attracted the greatest attention of the early explorers to Yellowstone. Many of the names given geysers and pools here were applied during the 1870s. Castle Geyser's huge cone, more than 100 feet around, looks like the ruins of an ancient castle. Sawmill Geyser was so named because during eruptions, the water spins about in the crater, resembling a large circular saw. Lion Geyser derives its name from the growling noise emitted during eruption. Chinese Spring was once the site of a Chinese laundry, one of Yellowstone's early concessions. This geyser's plume-like eruption inspired its name. Beehive Geyser was obviously named for the shape of its cone. And the most famous of all, Old Faithful Geyser explodes into the icy air. No geyser anywhere can match Old Faithful in size, frequency, and regularity of eruptions. In winter, Old Faithful's eruptions send towering columns of steam hundreds of feet above the frozen land. Jets of hot water shoot up through the clouds, turn in the air, and descend like comets with a tail of steam. Although it was recognized that all of Yellowstone was worthy of preservation and protection, Upper Geyser Basin provided the greatest wonders and led to the establishment of the nation's first national park. The Upper Geyser Basin is also home to one of the park's visitor centers and to the historic Old Faithful Inn. Thermal basins are the margin of survival for much of Yellowstone's wildlife. These areas in the park's interior are kept completely or relatively snow-free by the radiation of geothermal heat. In a frozen tableau, Old Faithful erupts on a 40 degrees below morning. Geothermal mists clothe trees in ghostly shrouds as bison appear, seemingly as statues on the heated ground. Both elk and bison take advantage of this condition. They are more free to move around and find the exposed forage they need to survive. They can absorb heat directly from the ground when they bed down in these areas. Winter in Yellowstone would be even more harsh for these animals without the geyser basins. Sometimes it's better to simply rest rather than forage. On the way to West Thumb, on the eastern side of the park, is Kepler Cascades. Here, the Firehole River tumbles in a series of falls and cascades more than 100 feet into a steep canyon. Many thermal features are found in the small West Thumb Geyser Basin. The major portion of its thermal activity occurs within an area less than 1,000 feet long. The basin skirts the shore of the West Thumb of Yellowstone Lake and extends inland only a few hundred feet. Abyss Pool has been active as a major geyser only sporadically throughout the park's history. Shown here in 1992, its activity has since declined. Abyss Pool today is one of the larger deep blue pools in the park. Some thermal activity is actually in the lake, such as fishing cone. As the story goes, it was possible to stand on the cone while fishing in the lake, then cook your catch without ever removing it from the hook. Yellowstone Lake is the largest lake in North America at this elevation. It covers 136 square miles and has a shoreline of 110 miles. In winter, it becomes a vast frozen plain, snow and ice dizzying in its whiteness. Thermal activity, mainly around West Thumb, is enough to keep breather holes open in the lake ice. In addition to the ducks, these holes are used by river otters, who make their living fishing for Yellowstone's cutthroat trout. With an ample food supply, the otters appear blissfully unaware of winter's harshness. Coyotes also gather, eager to steal fish or scavenge the scraps left behind. The Yellowstone River flows north from Yellowstone Lake, passing first by mature forests of lodgepole pine. A bald eagle quietly surveys his frozen world. Impressive both as an individual and as a symbol of a nation and that nation's commitment to its natural resources. forest breaks open, revealing Hayden Valley. The valley reaches out to sloping hills, which give way to mountains rising to nearly 10,000 feet. In some respects, this is the harshest winter landscape in Yellowstone. Mostly treeless, with strong winds and blowing snow, Hayden Valley is a vast rolling expanse, an enormous white blanket with a river running through it. Though hardly running, the river slowly meanders, slowly wanders through its valley. Depending on recent weather patterns, this stretch of the Yellowstone may be frozen or open. When open, a variety of waterfowl, including Canada geese and trumpeter swans, will be present in and along the river. And of course, the roving coyotes will be here as well. The occasional bison may also be wintering in Hayden Valley. It is a testament to the resourcefulness of the coyote and the hardiness of the bison that they're able to survive in this beautifully austere place. Small rodents are a staple in the coyote's diet. In winter, the coyote skillfully tracks by sound the mice and voles who navigate beneath a blanket of snow. With stealth and agility, he makes his move.